Hey guys, and welcome back. Now, hopefully, I'm trying to manifest so hard. There's two things to say. One, I'm trying to manifest my friend, who's not technically a booktuber, to be today's pick. So if it happens, I'm a magician. And two, I'm learning the more makeup looks I do, the more I realize I have got to invest in some really good liquid eyeliners that glide on easy. And the problem is I don't do this often enough, so it's really just like for a seasonal occasion and then they can dry out whatever. If you have a liquid eyeliner that like works really well with a felt tip that like is good, please let me know. If it comes in colors, even better, even though I have not really had much reason to use any colors. I've really just been using black, and I got a cheap black eyeliner because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, if you have recommendations for potentially next year, if I do more looks, that would be really helpful. Okay, anywho, like I said, I am manifesting a non-booktuber friend in here, but I really have no control, so we're just gonna have to wait and see and hope for the best. The tricky part is that I don't remember what any of these little candies like look like. I didn't really like word associate or color picture associate to what these could be, so I really have no way of like cheating. Upside down, of course. Oh my god, it's Chloe. Cinder. Oh, this one's so chunky. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. She's not that chunky. But I have the special editions of the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Myers.
Hi, beautiful. I did a little bit of stalking, hope you don't mind, and went to your Goodreads and actually decided to be a little bit nice and went to your owned physical TBR shelf and reversed it. So if it's by date added, which I think it is, these are the books that you own that have been on your TBR the longest, and I picked the ones that I had already read. I picked 4 books for you, okay? I picked 4 books. I'm sorry. I couldn't just pick 2. But imagine my surprise when I got on there and I saw that you haven't read the Lunar Chronicles yet. My cat would be ashamed of you. Cinder, if she was in here, I would force you to apologize to her through the camera. My cat's name is Cinder, by the way. I freaking love these. They are sci-fi, so they're not your typical genre, but they're fairy tale sci-fi. They're really easy to read. I love Marissa Myers' writing. I hope you like these. I know you own the Fairy Loot special editions and you haven't read them yet. Happy Booktober. Hope it, is going well. I can't wait to hear what you think, and I hope you get Talking About the Ripper, but I also kind of hope you get the selection because I feel like that's going to be a good rant. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Mwah. Happy Booktober, and I hope it's going so well, so well, and I hope you get one of these at least and you love it or have a fun time ranting about it.
So yes, I do own special editions of these, but I have a cat in my lap, so I can't grab the book right now. But Cinder is the first book in a 4.5 book series, I believe, and it's the Lunar Chronicles. It's fairy tale retellings, which is a thing that I enjoy, but it's a fairy tale retelling, but sci-fi. I'm not sure if they're dystopian. I think they might just be sci-fi. One of them is like a cyborg. I have little coasters. I keep pointing over here and you literally can't see it. Those blue books right there are the Lunar Chronicles, and the coasters in front that you actually cannot see are character coasters. So there's like character art on them. I have heard good things. It's an old, like, tried and true series. Let me look. Cinder. So it is a old tried and true series. It was beloved back in the day, like one of the first series that was kind of on my radar. So I've been watching booktube far longer than I've been on it. I watched it a lot in high school, and then I kind of like took a break in college, and then I came back to it young adult times after college, fell back in love with booktube, started a channel, and now here we are. But the Lunar Chronicles was one of those series that was like beloved on classic old booktube with like all the original creators. I'm very excited to see if it holds up, if it stands like to the test of time, if I still really enjoy it. Marissa Myers still writing good books from what I hear. I have not read anything from her. Definitely gotta check her out. And I'm so excited. Not a super spooky book, but Chloe, I might be, revealing secrets, but may or may not be doing their own version of Booktober. You'll have to check her out. If she is, yes, go love, subscribe, no matter what, if she is or not. But if she is, that means that we're going to do live shows together. So you're going to see her probably a decent amount this month, which is exciting. So anyway, let's jump into the vlog now that we know what we're going to read today. Oh, great. So, random check-in. I reached 20% into Cinder, 99 pages in, and I was gonna, hold off a little bit longer before updating and like talking about what the book is about, but I'm reading the ebook copy from my library, and I'm also listening to the audiobook, and there are some significant differences. Everyone's like, there's only been, I think, 2 changes, but this one feels rather significant. Like the entire page is different. So I find that to be really interesting, and I wanted to talk about it, but I also feel like I have to, introduce us to the book. Basically, in this, we are following Cinder, who is a cyborg in this world, and cyborgs are kind of like the second-class citizen. Like, they exist, they have feelings and emotions, they are part human, but because of whatever reasoning, like, they are just not treated as such, and are seen as less than, are seen as like parts and whatever. So we have Cinder, who works for stepmother Audrey. Her stepdad saved her from Europe, adopted her, and then he died from this disease that is kind of plaguing all of, I guess, I'm assuming everywhere, but at least at this current moment, we're in New Beijing, so it's plaguing there. And so cyborgs are being kind of volunteered by their guardians to be scientifically studied to try and find an antidote for this plague, because the emperor has the plague. So they're like, we really need people, but surprise, surprise, nobody's really interested in volunteering, because that would mean that they would die. But Cinder's, our special lucky one. But beyond that, she also met the Prince Kai, who needs assistance with fixing his android, and so that's like another side thing that happened early on. I think it was kind of just a meet cute. I know he'll come into play later because there's going to be a romance, but like that's what we know so far with him. And then what else? There's a plague. She's a cyborg. She has a stepsister, Pearl, and a stepsister, Peony. Peony is like her good friend. So it's like one different take on the Cinderella story. Instead of both stepsisters absolutely despising and hating her, this one is kind of more of a friend. And this good sister, Peony, actually has the disease as well and was like recently taken away. And, at this point is like seen to be like she's going to die. And so that's why Cinder was volunteered against her will. And so now we're in the testing phase. Now, Cinder seems to be the special chosen one, as all YA books tend to do. So I find it really interesting that she's being tested on. They give her the disease, and then her body naturally gets rid of it. Like, she's got natural, like, antibodies, basically. And her and the doctor are having a private conversation, and he asks, like, you're from Europe? And she's like, yeah, I don't think that matters. And there are 3 paragraphs that we just completely skip over. And in the audiobook, it just jumps to, do you recall any notable breakouts in your province? And she says, I don't recall anything before the surgery. And he asks, the cybernetic operation? And she, in the audiobook, says, no, the sex change, because she's making a joke. They've changed that in this, and now it's, no, the face transplant. I'm joking. And it's still skipping parts of the text. So, like, we just completely, like, at some point, and I cannot find anything on the interwebs, not that I'm doing, like, the deepest of dives, but I cannot find anything on the internet talking about these changes. Like, the audiobook obviously was recorded probably closer to when this came out, back in, oh god, what, long time ago? And so it's interesting that since the original book coming out, and I will look at my special editions and see what they say, but it is interesting that when the audiobook was originally recorded, that was like a joke in it, and now that joke has been taken out. I don't know if this book has faced any like ban challenges, but it seems very silly for that joke to be removed. I'm wondering if like Marissa Myers at some point thought that it was like an insensitive joke, since more people are fighting against transphobia and whatnot. Like, I'm just very curious as to like why the decision to change that, but I don't see anything anywhere about it. So I just thought that was very interesting. I'm going to keep reading now that you guys know what's going on, where I'm at now, and so I'm going to keep on reading. I'll check in with you guys a little bit later, but I am really liking it. It is told in it's in third person, but it's very engaging. It very quickly makes you interested in like what's going to happen, like what's going on. You have so many questions from the beginning that you're just like waiting for more answers. Kai is going to make another appearance at some point, so I'm kind of just like waiting for him to show back up. Like, it's going really well. Like, it's very readable, but it's still having a lot of those like classic dystopian sci-fi conversations that are still so very relevant to our times. Like, this was written before COVID, and I'm like, wow, I can trace back so many things to COVID, and so it's very interesting. I'm having a good time, but I'm also like, oh, life, you know? So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna keep reading. I'll check in with you guys a little bit later, but that I just wanted to talk about that. It's just so weird. Okay, quick little theory time. We've had mention of this like lunar queen kind of evil, but we've also are currently hiding our cyborg status from Prince Kai, so he doesn't know what Cinder is. And there's talks about how like the queen is removing all of the mirrors from the palace because she's gonna visit, and she's like super evil, really bad, threatening war, but trying to get like a marriage bargain for peace. And since the emperor dies, Kai is kind of now in charge of that stuff, but there's like superstition that she can't be seen through mirrors or like in mirrors because of her glamour. It's such a like throwaway line that I feel like I'm reading into, and I think it's going to be important. But because Cinder is hiding her cyborg stuff, I feel like at the height of the book, the climax, what's going to happen is Cinder's going to get found out as a cyborg. He's of course going to love and accept her anyway, but also the queen's reflection will be in the cyborg parts, and that'll help somehow. That's my theory. That's what I'm thinking. I am like 30-something% in. We're just having a little lazy couch day for now, but wanted to throw that out there. Weirdest angle you'll ever get from me, but I have bad news, guys. These cute little shaped Halloween pastas I was so excited for taste so gross. They're so gross. I don't know, something about the flour that they use to like hold shape and whatever. It's not good. I don't recommend. 0 out of 10. I'm so sorry. I did try. They just look so fun, and like they're so I love the idea of shaped pasta, because you know, like the nostalgia of like eating Kraft mac and cheese, and they're like fun little Spider-Man shapes or whatever, and then now this doesn't taste good. So upset. So I am now like 75% into this, and I was hesitant about checking in, but because we're only reading one video, oh boy, because we're reading one book in this video, I wanted to check in and give you at least more thoughts. So 46% is when things like really kick up and like start happening. Like the queen comes to visit from Lunar, more truths start to be revealed, more hallway walks to the doctor with Kai. There's a lot of like nice things going on. We have gotten to a part where it's like emotionally supposed to hit you. I think the issue is because it's an older backlist title, it's unfortunately one of those situations of like, I've seen it before. I think all of the twists, I know what's gonna happen. I know what's like, I know what's coming up. So that's like not a fault of the book, because again, it is well written, it is easy to read. I've flown through this book. It's not very long. They get bigger as they go, but like this hasn't felt like a long experience. Like I just have easily sunken into the world. I get everything. It hasn't been too much. It's kind of been the perfect read. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but there was an incident that happened with one of our dogs, and that was super scary. He's perfectly okay and fine now, but I took Friday off and was like planning to read a bunch of stuff, and truly like we all just like slept on the couch and like had a nice calm day together. So being able to pick up a book today and like have that just take my focus and like escape into it has been really helpful, and this book has been really easy to do that with. But again, like the hints that are dropping and the foreshadowing being said, I know exactly where it's leading. I know exactly what we're headed towards just because I've seen it and read this stuff before. But I think for this story, when it was published, let me look it up. This was originally published in 2011. I think if I had read this in 2011, I probably would have thought this was like the coolest thing ever, so unique, so unheard of. Like the twist would have been like, no way, that's who she is. But because it's now 2025, which is crazy, that's just not quite the case. But it's still like a very good read. I'm having a really good time. I just don't have like a lot of thoughts and feelings. I don't mind Kai as a love interest. We don't really know a lot about him, but I do like that this is kind of told in more of an omniscient third person. So we're getting primarily Cinder's chapters, but every once in a while we get some Kai perspectives. We get some from the doctor. So I like that we kind of switch it up so that we know what's going on in the world rather than being limited to just what Cinder is going through. So I am enjoying that as well. But yeah, it's just like a fun, kind of easy read. Like, there are serious themes. I think the craziest being that Cinder, a cyborg, a second-class citizen who is, like, considered property, even though, like, she's human, minus, like, less than 40% of her, she sees the lunar people who, you know, there's the Earthians, or sorry, my lore is bad, the Earth people, and then there's the lunar people on the moon, and she just sees them as savages and just, like, says some kind of, like, things about them and just, like, has a lot of prejudice towards them, and I'm just like, come on, girl, are we gonna come full circle and be like, oh, I can't believe I thought that all along. I've treated them how they would treat me. Although there's not technically, like, supposed to be lunar people on Earth because of the treaties and stuff, but I digress. I'm just saying. It's a little bit humorous, and I'm wondering if she comes around. My other thing is that this is obviously the first book in a four book and then a novella series, I believe. And I'm probably for sure going to continue. I think that these are very fun. They get bigger and bigger as we go. I think they're all young adult, but I am curious if they're going to tie together at some point. Like, is the next book just going to have, like, a cameo of Cinder, or is it, like, they team up? Is it more companion or a series? I'm not really sure. So I'm excited to figure that out eventually. But yeah, I've been just kind of keeping my eyes peeled. I'm like, are any of these the other characters from the other books? And so far, I don't think so, but it's fun. I'm having a good time. So that's kind of my check-in for now. I'm going to be sprinting tonight. So I will be finishing this in the first sprint, and then, I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter to you guys what I read after that because you're not going to be there for it. So that's kind of my plans, though. I'm going to wrap this up. I've got, like, I want to say an hour left, maybe less. Yeah, I've got 2 hours and 46 minutes, which at 3 times speed is, like, a little under an hour. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's my plan. Check in with you guys when I finish the dang book. Oh my god. Hi. It's a couple hours later. I finished Cinder, so I figured, of course, come review and talk about it. There's so many things that I, like, want to say, and I want to make sure I say them all and not forget, but, like, at the same time, they don't really matter. The first thing, the ending was a banger. Okay, the way it ends, definitely going to be a continuation in the second book. Like, we still have to see Cinder, even though Cinder doesn't seem like she's the main character. Like, we're following Scarlet and Wolf, who are teaming up after Scarlet's grandma dies or something. So how Cinder comes into play? Like, is it going to be their two POVs going back and forth? Like, I'm curious. I need to know. Ended on a banger. Was everything that I expected to be revealed what happened? Yes. But it was still a really good time. I liked the way the reveals went down. I liked how it kind of flipped some of those fairy tale aspects of Cinderella on its head. Overall, I really enjoyed that. We did see a future character in one of the scenes, and I was like, hell yeah. Really excited about that. Overall, really had a solid time. Like, this is probably the most solid of 4 stars out of all the 3.5s I've been giving this month. Like, this was such a good 4-star book. Like, you guys seem so high now. It just was so much fun. It was just a really good time. You don't really get a lot of romance in it. It is really just about Cinder and what she's going through, but I like Kai. I really like Cinder as a character. I was really fascinated with, like, how this world was working, and the Luna versus the Earthens and all that political side of things was also, like, really intriguing. So I really liked it. I really, really liked it. Like, if I had read this a little bit sooner, like Chloe, this is one of her, like, nostalgia books, like, go to time and time again, like, loves the series. I think if I had read it when I was just a bit younger, like, maybe even when I started my channel, I maybe would have liked it so much it would have been a 5-star favorite, but I do see it being a comfort series. Like, I can see myself reading the series, finishing it, and then coming and visiting it every once in a while just to be back in this world and these characters, because it just feels like a classic booktube darling of a young adult series. Like, it just, the vibes were so good. And Marissa Meyer's she's doing good. I liked the writing. I thought it was good. So that's kind of where I am with like most of those thoughts. The only like loose end that I was expecting and kind of hoping for was more about, what are you doing, girl? I was kind of hoping for more with the sister who gets the illness and is like friends with Cinder. I really wanted more on Peony. I really thought that because she needed like a specific thing to be fixed by Cinder, who's like a mechanic, that's what she does. She fixes equipment and gear and whatever. She's being so ridiculous. I thought it was like a comms type thing, like it was some kind of screen. And so I was really thinking that Cinder was going to fix this thing for Peony and see that she was like talking to a secret lover, and that lover is how she like got the sickness. And so like that's kind of like, I was expecting more background on Peony, and we didn't really get that. You can only fit so much. It was less than 400 pages. It was like the perfect size for a video like this. But I am excited as like the series expands and the books get bigger and we just get to see more of the world. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, ending on a really positive note. I actually really enjoyed this read. This was Okay, so Chloe recommended 4 things to me. 2 tricks, 2 treats. Her other treat was, I believe, Stalking Jack the Ripper. I would not have complained if we got that. And so maybe it'll appear later in the month. I wouldn't complain. We'll have to wait and see. But I am excited for that at some point, because I know that's a series that Chloe really loves, and I also just like want to give it a try. But I'm really, really happy that this ended up being the pick, because it was a really good time. It's such a good read. It's just so easy to read. So yeah, that's where we're ending. Thank you guys so much for watching Booktober day 12. Appreciate it. If you made it to the end of the video, leave a pumpkin emoji, because Cinder works on this old car, like cars that we have. Keep in mind, the timeline is that this happened 126 years after the 4th World War. And so nuclear stuff happened. We have a New Beijing. Why this is set in New Beijing, I'm not entirely sure, but like, go off. But I did really like that she's like, we found a car in the junkyard that runs on gasoline, and like she wants to fix it up. But Eco, the smaller android bot, was like, it kind of looks like a rotting pumpkin. And I really like that callback. I really like the little like Easter eggs, if you will, the little hints to Cinderella throughout. It was very sweet. But if you made it to the end, leave a pumpkin for that scene that you now have context for. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Woo! We're almost to halfway. Can you believe it? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have been watching these videos as they've been coming out, I really appreciate it. They're a lot of work, but a lot of fun, and I just really enjoy doing them. So thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!